Welcome to the Change-Making series by Tinker Champs, who are on a mission to educate their fellow ATL students on a variety of topics of mutual interest. As part of this mission, Tinker Champs are bringing out several micro-learning modules on tinkering, problem-solving, innovation, entrepreneurship and change-making and other topics. In this 10-part video series, Tinker Champs will help you understand the essentials of change-making, and how you can be a change-maker too. Each video is approximately 5 to 10 minutes and includes a change-making activity for you to attempt. Without further ado, let's start with episode 4 by Tinker Champ Divya Maneja, a Class 9 student from Punjab and a budding changemaker himself.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're an innovator, you totally know that incredible feeling of having a brilliant idea. But here's the big question. How do you make sure that idea actually makes a real, lasting difference? Well, you're in the right place. This is episode 4 of our Change-Making series, based on the work of Divya Maneja. Today, we're going to talk all about how to scale your project from just a single spark into a movement that keeps going all on its own. Ready? Let's jump in. So I want you to think about your project for a second. What's its future look like? Is it a firecracker? You know, that big, dazzling burst of energy that's super exciting for a moment, but then it just fizzles out and disappears? Or is it a tree? Something that plants its roots deep, grows strong and steady, and keeps giving back shade, fruit, you name it, for years, maybe even decades. That's what we're talking about today. We're learning how to turn those change-making firecrackers into powerful, life-giving trees. All right, so what do we even mean by scaling up? Let's be clear, it's not just about getting bigger or making more noise. It's way smarter than that. It's about designing your project on purpose. It's about building it for continuity so it can survive and thrive even after you've moved on. It's about designing for growth so you can reach more and more people who need your solution. And most importantly, it's about creating lasting impact, turning a cool one-time experiment into something that solves a real problem for the long haul. So here's the plan for today. First, we'll get into why scaling is so important. Then we'll get practical and talk about building a team right there in your school. After that, we're going to look at how to take your idea beyond the school gates, into the community. I'll even give you a Changemaker's toolkit with all the essentials. We'll look at a real-world case study to see how it's done, and then at the very end, it's going to be your turn to get scaling. You know, every single great change starts out as just a tiny spark, a curious question, a really bold idea. But for that spark to actually catch fire and grow into a real, lasting flame, well, it needs fuel. And that fuel? It's a plan. A plan for growth. So why bother with all this extra work? I mean, really, why? Because scaling completely transforms your project's potential. Think about it. Continuity means your hard work doesn't just disappear the day you graduate. Reach means you're helping not just a few friends, but maybe your whole school or even your neighborhood. Over time, your project can literally become part of your school's identity, something everyone is proud of. And hey, let's not forget, the whole process turns you and your team into amazing leaders. And all of that adds up to one thing: real, lasting impact. Okay, so where do we even begin with all this? The single most important first step you can take is right here. You have to stop thinking of it as your project. Seriously, it's time to build a base, a community. It's time to turn that solo mission into a powerful team effort. This is like the million-dollar question for every student innovator, right? You pour your heart, your soul, all your brain power into building something amazing. But what happens when you graduate? Does all that progress, all that learning, just poof, vanish into thin air? The risk is totally real, but the good news is the solution is probably walking right down the hallways of your school. Yep, the solution is a student-driven club. It's how you turn a personal passion into a shared mission. And if you want to build one that actually lasts, here's how. First, define your purpose and be super clear about it. Don't just be the innovation club. Be the clean water initiative or the AI for social good club. Specific is better. Next, build a leadership team. You can't do it all yourself. Find a teacher you connect with to be your mentor. Plan out your activities for the year to keep the energy up. And now for the secret sauce. You listening? Document everything. I mean everything. Meeting notes, project plans, contacts. This becomes the blueprint that lets the next generation of students pick up right where you left off. Let's see this in action. Okay, picture this. A student builds a pretty cool smart irrigation system. If they're working alone, that project probably dies when they graduate, right? That's year one. But what if it's a club project? Well, in year 2, a whole new group of students adds IoT sensors to collect better data. Then in year 3, another team comes in and designs a mobile app to control it. By year 4, this thing is so advanced it's actually being tested on local farms. See, one student's idea, when it's scaled through a club, can become a total school legacy. Of course, a club is nothing without its members. So how do you get people fired up to join? You have to create an awesome culture. First, give recognition. Shout-outs in the school assembly, a wall of change makers in the hallway, make people feel seen. Second, make it fun. Host hackathons, mini challenges, whatever it takes. And always show people the real-world impact they're having. When students see their friends doing cool stuff that actually matters, that positive peer pressure is going to kick in, and they'll want in on the action. Let me tell you a quick story. There was this shy coder, right? She built this amazing, advanced chatbot all by herself, but was way too nervous to show anyone. But a teacher saw what she was doing, saw the potential, and convinced her to present it at the school assembly. And the reaction? It was electric. Her classmates were totally blown away. They immediately started brainstorming how they could help make it even better. That one little moment of encouragement turned a hidden project into this huge, inspiring group effort. All right, once you've built a solid foundation in your school, it's time to start looking outward. Real scaling, the kind that makes a huge difference, happens when your idea breaks out of the school gates and starts making waves in the bigger community. Now, I know that can sound a little scary, so think of it like climbing a ladder. You start on the first rung, right there at school, maybe in your classroom or lab. The next step up, your local community, maybe the school canteen or a neighborhood park. From there, you climb to the city level, partnering with other schools or local groups. See, each step builds on the last. But just a heads up, every time you climb a rung, things get a little trickier. More logistics, more people to coordinate with. It's a challenge, but it's totally doable. So here's the key to making that climb easier. For your idea to spread like wildfire, you have to make it super easy for other people to copy your success. And you do that with something called a replication kit. It's not a physical box, it's a collection of all your resources, step-by-step guides, super clear manuals, short how-to videos, maybe an FAQ sheet. It's everything another school would need to get your project up and running without you even being there. Okay, as you get ready to grow, you're going to need to upgrade your toolkit. To manage that growth, you need to get good at 3 things that might sound a little intimidating at first, but are absolutely essential: marketing, money, and measurement. Let's start with marketing, which is really just a fancy word for telling your story. I mean, you could have the best idea in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it can't change anything, right? And your story needs to be simple and clear. Forget all the technical jargon. Just focus on how you help people. Instead of getting bogged down in the details, just say, "We help farmers grow food with less water." Boom. It's simple, it's powerful, and people get it instantly. That's what makes them want to get involved. Next up, money. Look, as you grow, you're going to need more resources. It's just a fact. But you don't need to find one giant check from the start. Think small. Ask your school or the PTA for a little seed money. Check out government programs that support student innovators. Look up local NGOs or companies that have community funds. Once you get a few small wins, you can use that success to ask for bigger investments down the road. This leads us to a really important question. Growth is awesome. It feels great to get more members or partner with another school, but how do you know if you're actually making a difference? Just getting bigger for the sake of getting bigger doesn't mean much. We have to measure what really matters. And you don't need to be a data wizard to do this. Just track a few simple, powerful things that tell the real story. Participation. Are more students joining each year? Adoption. How many people are actually using your solution? Continuity. This is a huge one. Did the project keep going after the original creators graduated? And reach. How many other schools or communities have used a replication kit? Those numbers, that's your real impact. Okay, let's bring all this theory back down to earth with a real-world example. The author of this work, Divyam Aneja, actually went through this exact scaling journey with his own initiative, Skillvora AI, and his story has some lessons for all of us. Just look at this range. The people who took part in Skillvora AI workshops were anywhere from 12 years old all the way to 80. Just let that sink in. That one fact shows you the incredible power of scaling. The project didn't just stay in one classroom or with one age group. It broke down all these barriers and brought an entire community together, connecting generations who all wanted to learn something new. So Divyam's journey really comes down to 5 key tips. Number 1, have a super clear purpose. 2, make sure every single activity you plan is pushing you toward that goal. 3. Market your initiative like crazy. People can't join what they don't know about. 4. Recognize and reward your participants because they'll become your best promoters. And 5. From the very first day, plan for what happens after you're gone. Always be thinking about who's going to carry the torch next. All right, it is your turn. I want you to try this right now. It's the One Step Bigger challenge. Think of one change-making idea you're passionate about. Got it? Okay. Now, in the next 30 seconds, I just want you to write down one simple way you could make it reach a slightly bigger group. If it's for your friend, how could it help your whole class? If it's for your class, how could it help the entire school? Go ahead, pause here if you need to, and just think of one small, actionable step. You know, when it comes down to it, scaling is a choice. We can all be happy creating those brilliant sparks, those ideas that shine so brightly for a moment and then just fade away. Or we can take on the bigger challenge. We can choose to design our ideas to grow, to spread, and to last. The choice is up to us. So the question I want to leave you with is this: are you going to stop at sparks, or are you going to build flames that last?